When we speak of ISB and its impact on students, the one word that stands out is transformation. We welcome bright young minds to the school, see them graduate with flying colors, and go on to accomplish some incredible things. Over the course of his diplomatic career in the Indian Foreign Service, he has represented India across regions and moments of change, working at the intersection of policy, people, and global partnerships. From navigating complex geopolitical landscapes to strengthening ties between nations, his journey reflects the quiet but hugely consequential work of diplomacy. Today, as India's ambassador to Qatar, he oversees one of our most significant relationships in the Gulf region, a partnership shaped by energy cooperation, growing trade, and a vibrant Indian diaspora that forms a living bridge between the two countries. He has often spoken about the value of stepping back from the immediacy of public service to reflect on strategy, leadership, and global shifts through the lens of the classroom. His time at the Indian School of Business also brought him into a diverse community of leaders from across industries, offering fresh perspectives on how India engages with a rapidly changing world. Join me for a conversation that explores the journey in public service of Ambassador Vipul from the PGP Class of 2008. I want to really thank you, Vipul, and I hope I can take the liberty of calling you by your first name.
Please.
Because at ISB, we talk about excellence all the time.
Yes.
But in our 20,000 plus alums, there's only one person who gets called excellency, and that happens to be you. So everywhere you're referred to as His Excellency, Your Excellency, which obviously makes us all at ISB very proud that, the Indian ambassador to Qatar is an alum of ours, His Excellency Ambassador Vipul. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special edition of Impact Chronicles.
Thank you very much. And I'm glad that I went to ISB, so I'm getting this chance to be with you. Yeah.
Thank you. So in the many years that you've been in the service, right, you've been to various geographies, you've served in various geographies, you've served in various institutions or, offices or departments or divisions as it's called in the ministry. When you look back at those events and look back at those associations of yours and the tenures, what are some of the lessons in leadership and responsibility that you have gained over these years through the service?
Well, there are many, but let me first of all start by welcoming you to Doha and thank the ISB team for remembering me. I'm glad that I went to ISB. I think we should have had more diplomats coming to ISB. I thought that I would make that beginning and others would join, but I know for a fact now that a number of diplomats do go to ISB for short-term courses,
which is an
institutional arrangement between our ministry and ISB. Now, coming to your question on responsibility and leadership, I think these are things as personalities that we continue to develop ever since we are born. For example, on responsibility, when we are kids, we are told by our parents that whatever we take in a plate, we have to eat it, finish it, so that there is no wastage.
Yeah.
I think that is responsibility. We start becoming responsible when we are kids. And then when you join service, when you are studying before that, I think these are traits that you keep collecting as you go along in life. I think one is, if I were to start from ISB, the courses that we did in ISB. So of course there was the hardcore business side of it, but also the other courses which prepare a leader, whether it be on negotiations or leadership lessons in world literature and other such courses. I think that helps you think as to how you can really become a leader. And then I got a great opportunity of working with External Affairs Minister of India, late Srimati Sushma Swaraj from 2014 to 2017. And there I saw a big leader really in action. And there are many things that I picked up from that is something that is helping me even today. I would start, for example, from care for the people, care for your employees. And she was very, very good at it. We all know how she helped each and every Indian, whoever was in distress.
So one of the things I want to understand is, this people have lesser known understanding of the role of a diplomat or an ambassador. If it's possible, and I don't know if it's really possible, is there a way to construct what does 24 hours in your life looks like?
Well, I would say, starting with a read up on news when you get up in the morning, um, coming to office, conversations with your colleagues, typically a few meetings with the government or business or other people in the place where you are living. Let's say, I recently had a meeting with the chief of Qatar's artificial intelligence organization. Meetings with other diplomats. In Qatar, especially, we have national days of other countries almost every evening. So go and represent the country in those kind of national days. And nowadays, almost every evening, every second evening, there is also an Indian community program, and go and represent India with Indians. So that is another. So I would say it's a packed day. It's a day that is spent very well, but what you do in that day is meeting a lot of people, understanding many new things, and of course representing the country, which is the biggest honor.
As India, aspires to have a much larger say, rightfully so, in global issues and world order, how do you think you, as the ambassador here, are looking at this play out? Indian aspirations, global respect, everything is improving and becoming better day by day.
Yeah.
But you also have to play this role of balancing, and in some sense, even though both sides speak English, but the role of an ambassador is also to translate.
That's
so
right.
tell us how
Yeah.
this works out for you.
No, I think it works very well. The place where India is today, as you said, we are respected across the world. India's role, important role in the global order, is well recognized by the entire international community today. So it's easier for an Indian diplomat, therefore, to discharge his or her duties. And I think that is very well seen, especially in this part of the world with which we have had historical connections. But I think all the countries in this region do see India's role in terms of maintaining stability, in terms of India's stakes in regional stability, but also international peace and stability.
So we spoke about how this huge attractiveness when it comes to, let's say, global players wanting to invest in India, for instance, and of course there's the market attractiveness, there's the government policies that are being sort of reformed, if I can use that word, to sort of make it easier and so on. But ultimately, all these things boils down to who are the people on the ground who end up being the first port of call. I'm sure the government of India says we have the ambassador there in Doha. Let's talk to him. And there are, these funds who are saying, I want to invest in India, or startups and others, and saying, what is therefore the ground reality in India? Let's talk to the Indian ambassador. You have to be, in some sense, knowledgeable about whole variety of issues, and also point people to the right directions, to connect them to the right officers. How are you able to cope up with all of these things?
When you join diplomacy and when you are getting this big honor of being India's ambassador to a country, I think you have to work on all these aspects. If I look at the trade side, at the investment side, we have to know what is happening in India.
Yeah.
For example, the budget came just now, so read about the budget. What are the priorities of the country where you are serving? So, for example, here, the Sovereign Wealth Fund, the Qatar Investment Authority, would have its own priorities. Qatar would have its own priorities. So understand them and then reflect it back to headquarters. So this is a job that we continuously do. But I think at the strategic level, of course, when the connect between the leaderships is great, the high level decision gets taken. And after that, it is the job of the embassies to start implementing that decision, keep following up, keep giving more information, keep connecting people. And then you also have, as an ambassador, you also have to take care of the Indians who are living within your jurisdiction. So in Qatar, I feel very, very proud that we have more than 8 lakh Indians who are living here. And with 8 lakh people, there would be some issues which will keep coming. There would be, sometimes there could be unfortunate accidents, there could be deaths, there could be injuries, there could be people who might face some kind of a legal challenge. So we do keep helping people out.
In the previous point, when you're saying, one thing that I stood out for me is to be able to manage the role that you are in right now, you have to have a high learning quotient, because you're learning about trade, you're learning about security issues, energy, geopolitics, so many things. Uh, is that uh, was that one of the reasons why you also chose to get into an ISB? I think this was about 9-10 years after you
That's
entered the
right.
foreign service.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
led you to think of ISB, and tell us a little bit about your thought process back then?
So I did my IIT in '94, and when we were passing out, we really had 3-4 choices that people used to pursue those days. Either go for higher learning to States or to some other country, or in India, go for management institutes, go for civil services, or go to the corporate side immediately. Entrepreneurship was still coming up.
Very nascent.
Yeah. So I think I chose civil services, but at the same time, we also wanted to see what is on the business side. So I think that was one factor.
Okay.
The other factor, I think, when we joined service, even at that time, this was the time when the IT boom in India was happening. Economic liberalization had set its roots firmly. Businesses were coming up. And we used to talk quite a bit about economic diplomacy, and businesses were coming up. So I thought that I should learn more about how business is done, uh, get those connections made with at least some of the people on the business side, uh, and also that would help me in terms of both understanding how business is done, and also how government and business can work together. So I think that was the rationale behind coming to ISB in 2007, which was 9 years after I joined. Those days, I think there were many people in government who were interested in doing MBA. The great thing was that we got a school like ISB at that time. Because otherwise it was not possible after 9 years of service to get into a regular MBA in one of the IIMs, for example. And ISB gave us that opportunity. There were a lot of people with a great deal of experience, and these were some of the best people, with GMAT scores of 750 plus. There was in my own study group, we had one colleague who was 780, and to get to study with such people. I think when you are in an academic environment, your mind opens up. You are able to think more. So it gives you that freshness. I think when you go back also in terms of service.
You joined the service in '98. You went to IIT and you graduated in '94. Tell us a little bit about your early years, where you grew up, and what were some of the career decisions. Was civil services one of those things that was told to you, saying ki ye karna hai? Like, how did this idea come about?
Yeah, so I think that mind was made up by my father, because he was in service in government of Uttar Pradesh. He was an engineer. So I grew up in various parts of UP, some parts which are now Uttarakhand. And from the very beginning, what we were told was that you should be doing civil services. And in the civil services, foreign service, those days used to be really right at the top. So foreign service was one of the big options that was there. That is what I did, and as a regular middle class person, we have to safeguard ourselves. So do well in academics, do either medicine or engineering. Those days, I picked up engineering. Went to IIT, took the exam, and came into foreign service. But it's been a very rewarding career so far.
For you, from as you now are at the apex level of your career in the next decade plus, what are some of the things that you would prioritize when you are into, let's say when you're back in India at the ministry, and whatever that you get to head, what are some of the things that you would like to prioritize as you sort of contribute to this nation building exercise?
Well, I think the vision has been given, which is to make India a developed country. I think we all have to pitch in our own way in terms of doing that. I have done a lot of time in the Gulf region, so that is something, and on diaspora issues. So that is something that I feel I would be fairly good at, even when I am back in the ministry. Basically working on all the issues that we have talked about, on how to do more trade and commerce of India, how to get more investments into India, how to really build further the profile of the Indian diaspora abroad, and also to look at India's relationships with different countries, and also some of the multilateral bodies which have become very important these days.
And for a lot of what we want to achieve with Viksit Bharat 2047 and the journey there too, the role of the citizens is going to increase, right?
Yeah.
But if you were to offer advice to students of ISB, for instance, or our alumni, saying that not everybody can perhaps get to be a diplomat the way you have become, and especially post ISB. Some are probably not even eligible to write the UPSC exams and so on. Yeah. But let's say they are keen to contribute to this entire endeavor of, building a strong, resilient India, contributing to sort of foreign policy initiatives, etc.
Yeah.
One is, how can they do? That's one. The second part of that question is also to say, what are some of the skills that they should acquire, and what's the mindset that they should have if they were to contribute to this effort?
Essentially, what we have to do, especially for a student in a business school, is not to think about things in two silos of business and government. I think business and government have to work together. In one sense, also think about, if you are in a business, not only about maximizing shareholders' wealth, but also about how we can contribute, how business can also contribute to the society overall. And I think that's the mindset with which one has to come out.
Yeah.
If one were to support government or the other bodies, the civil society, or UN
nation building
and other international organizations as well. So I think that's the mindset with which one has to come. In terms of what are the skills needed for doing that, I think today all of us are grappling with where technology is leading us. I think people who would really matter are people who can put technology to the best use of businesses, governments, and societies. And I think people who are coming out of institutes like ISB can really be the best people who can think about these things.
So I have a question for you as an alumnus of the school, and you're out now for last 18 years since you've graduated from the school. You've seen the school grow. You've seen, when you had come in, it was a very young school. This year we are celebrating the silver jubilee of the school.
Yeah.
How, in your assessment, is the school faring? One, and two, if we were to sort of, let's say, ask you to offer some advice or some pointers on what else the school should be doing, what would those be?
Well, I don't think I should be giving too much advice, but I think the school has done very well. In terms of rankings, for example, I was seeing the rankings now, and it figures right up there in FT rankings and other rankings. So that's very good. The intake has gone up, which is again very good. It has to match with the growing economy of India. The school, even from its nascent days, has taken in the best of the students, people who come with good experience and great GMAT scores, and a very diverse student body. It also has the strength in terms of getting the best of the faculty from different universities, coming from abroad or from India. I think there's been more focus on research, including on some topics which could be very Indian. For example, the Indian families who are running businesses, and the focus on that, or on leadership, or on entrepreneurship. So on all those counts, the school is doing very well, and of course the infrastructure of the school is absolutely great, and now we have a very good alumni body with so many alumni now available, including here more than 10 alumni who are here in Qatar itself. So I think the school is very well positioned in terms of really serving the needs that we have in India in terms of business administration. I'm sure the school will keep up with the evolving trends on tech and business and supply chains and other issues. And I think, as I said, the school is very nimble in terms of getting the faculty who can really teach all these subjects to the students. I think as the Indian economy is growing and our connections with the world economy are becoming even more stronger, there will be a need for people also from abroad to come into India and learn as to how Indian business houses or Indian corporates are doing business. And for those kind of things, I think ISB will be very well positioned to explain to people and really serve that interest. So I think those are things that ISB has to do, and I think the school is doing great on all these counts. And I feel very happy that our ministry, as I said, has these mid-career training programs, modules that are done by ISB, which again shows that we value ISB for giving that kind of input on how business and government have to work together.
Thank you. I have a specific question in terms of, let's say, Qatar, where you are right now. For a school like ISB to say, here meaningfully, what can we do? And normally one can think of like capacity building programs, maybe some targeted training programs for, let's say, someone from QIA, for instance, and things like that. But also student mobility, right? That's something that India hasn't really been able to take advantage of because of larger sort of issues. It's not a short-term thing. Do you have any sort of short to medium-term goals that ISB should try to achieve to expand its footprint?
Well, I think we should, and those will be in two different buckets. Essentially, one is the Indian students who are studying here, and one can start kind of talking to them even when they are in school. We have about 60,000 Indian students in schools in Qatar, and if I distribute them roughly equally every year, there would be about 4,000 who would be passing out from class 12th every year. Many of them go back to India for their graduation. Some of them travel to the West. Some of them remain in Qatar. About 1,000, less than 1,000 would remain in Qatar. So I think those are the students to whom an outreach can be made by ISB, and they can actually look at doing full courses in ISB. The other is the Qatari students and other foreign students who are studying in Qatar. There is a very large number of expatriate population here. And I think they should also be looked at, both in terms of full courses, but more so, I think, for Qatari students, the exchange courses with ISB. Because many of them would have done their graduation, some of them might be pursuing their business studies here. But I think there is a need which is there in terms of taking Qatari students for one semester or for a limited period of time. They can go and understand as to how business is done in India. And then, of course, the even shorter term courses for people in Qatar who are working, professionals in either in government or government kind of public sector, and also in private businesses. I think these are all things that can be looked at, and ISB would be Qatar is looking at India much more now in terms of business, in terms of investment. I think that can be really looked at.
Thank you. This has been a wonderful conversation. I can go on. There's so many facets of diplomacy, of leadership, and what a strong leader like you can bring to the table and add value to the institutions that you're part of. But I do recognize that we have to bring this to an end.
Yeah.
I have a rapid round. Can we start?
Yeah.
So, one leadership quality diplomacy has taught you the most?
Patience.
Patience, okay. Of the many countries that you have served in and interacted with, what's the one country or culture that surprised you the most vis-a-vis your expectations and what you have perhaps encountered later?
A culture which is quite different. My first posting was to Egypt.
Okay.
And there are many similarities, but yet it's a different culture. But it was wonderful to be there, and they have very great regard for Indians.
A book or thinker that's influenced how you see the world?
I would say the way we are brought up. So it would be more of the scriptures of what we learned as kids from Gita. I think that shapes the mindsets, and as you grow further in life, that is something that one would want to do.
Guides you and
yeah.
One ISB classroom moment that has stayed with you?
One of the things which was said by, I think it was Professor Upadhyay, was how any leader, no matter how strong or how big, everyone needs an anchor in life. I think that's something that has always stayed with me. And that anchor could be many things. It could be religion, it could be your mother, it could be your teacher. But really you do need an anchor in life. And I think that really stabilizes you.
Lovely. In one line, what does public service mean to you today?
Well, serving the nation.
Serving the nation. Yeah. And a lesser known fact about your job?
About the job, it's I don't think people know too much about diplomacy in any case.
Yeah.
We have to. So everyone thinks about diplomacy as a flashy job with a lot of protocol, etc. But we do hardcore work, sitting in office, writing, reading, and things like that.
And also visas. I think that's the other thing. People think of embassies as just visas sometimes.
Oh, so that way we also do marriages in our embassies and consulates. So
okay.
So sometimes we had one marriage here recently.
Okay.
Because we do register marriages
sure.
as a Government of India extended office.
One Indian value that travels well globally?
The value of diversity and tolerance and non-violence. The Gandhian values. I think those are the ones which are valued by everyone across the world, and everyone knows India is the land of Buddha and Gandhi. And I think that is something that I would say.
Lovely. One skill every young professional should build, irrespective of what their career choices.
I think it's about constant learning. I think that is something that sometimes when we are in our 20s, when we are looking at settling down in life, many people think that okay, now this is it. But I think life is about constant learning. If we don't learn, I don't think we can really grow.
Got it. And one word that defines India's role in the world today?
A leader with Indian ethos, and we always talk about it in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Vipul. This has been a fantastic conversation. And thank you for making the time and for welcoming us here in Doha.
Thank you very much. And as I said, Government of India has given me this responsibility, and I'm very happy that I also happen to be an alum of ISB, which is such a beautiful school.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.